y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And as of filming this on said channel, y'all would have already seen the introduction back into the anti-haul verse. And if any of y'all have not seen that video, I will do my best to leave that shiz down below. But in the spirit of said anti-haul, or in the opposite spirit, I've talked about the shiz I am not going to be buying. The stuff that I think is stupid, ridiculous, redundant, and just ugly. In my personal opinion, obviously. But today we're going to do the opposite on the spectrum, because as I was scrolling through Trendmill, looking for all of those wonderful things that I anti-hauled, and if y'all want a part 2 of that anti-haul, I got plenty of other crap I can talk about. If you want to see that, let me know down below. But today we're going to be talking about those things that I saw that actually struck a chord within my makeup-loving heart. Things that I actually am interested or would be interested in purchasing and reviewing on my channel. And I figured I'd share that with y'all, and y'all could give me your personal opinions if you have it, if you're planning on getting it, if you think, yes, the quality is worth it, or if you've tried it and you're like, don't waste your money. Because moving forward with creating beauty content on my channel now, as a not main beauty channel, I feel I really want to move forward with like some caution and really think about the stuff that I'm bringing into my collection as being a more responsible makeup consumer. We are definitely living that low-buy life, because y'all know, you would have seen Declutter too. Got a lot of makeup. But with that being said, there are some of those things that just looked as if they would bring joy to my color-loving person. I got quite a few little things here. I think it's a reasonable list considering how much I like buying stuff and how long I've been out of it. I expected there to be so many things. I was kind of nervous going through Trend Mood because I was like, I'm gonna see all those things that I want to buy, and then I'm gonna want to buy them, and it's gonna be a thing. But I think this is a fairly reasonable list, so we're just gonna go on in here with sort of an obvious one here. This is the Melt Cosmetics newly formulated Gemini, as well as the Gemini 2. Not gonna lie, when I saw that second palette, I definitely had a moment. Y'all know that as much as that green grungy shiz is my shiz, so is that rosy grungy shiz. I'm like, with this palette, I can have the holy trinity of grunge colored palettes in Melt Cosmetics. I gotta have the Gemini 2, and a Rust palette, and I will be good. I will be set at having those 3 palettes in my collection. I think that would just be a perfection, a beautiful, perfect little biome of absolutely amazingly curated color within my collection. And also considering the fact that my own Gemini palette is starting to suffer from the shimmer shades are really starting to puff up. And this thing is kind of trying to do what the Smoke Sessions palette of mine did, which y'all would have seen in the Declutter. I know that this happened. There was that whole drama thing about it happening, and everyone's like, what's happening to my eyeshadow? And I had been lucky to have avoided that, but not forever, it would seem. So I don't feel bad about at some point replacing my Gemini palette, which y'all know this is one of my end-all be-all favorite shiz. This is green, this is grungy, this is everything I could possibly want it to be in a palette. And then that next to the second one, they're beautiful. The second one has 2, count them, 2 shimmers. That shimmer to matte ratio is perfect. Makes my little matte heart go pity pat. And so absolutely, definitely, I want to review. I actually could probably do a double review and be like, oh, is the Gemini reformulated just as good? Or I don't know if it's reformulated, but it's definitely repackaged. I could do a video being like, is it just as good? And then doing, obviously, reviewing the second one. Let me know, obviously, with all of these down below. Have you gotten it? Have you tried it? What is the makeup scuttlebutt going around about those palettes? Because like I said, I do not know much that is going around about the makeup verse, about what's good and what's bad. I've just really been detached, but definitely the second Gemini palette is really up there on my list of I would like to own that. I would like to review it. I think it would bring me joy. This next one is sort of just like I don't know if I'll ever review it. It's just sort of like huh. You know, if someone were to be like, here, I bought this for you, try it out, I'd be like, yes, thank you. But I'm not sure if I'm that invested in putting my own money into it and trying. And that is the Jeffree Star skincare. Y'all know that your girl is the skincare. Like I say, if you want to live the beat life, you gotta live the skincare life. There's a part of me that probably enjoys trying new skincare and finding new amazing skincare more than trying out new makeup. I love a good cleanser, toner, serum, moisturizer, eye cream. That is just all kinds of F me up in here. And so when I see new skincare, especially from a brand like Jeffree Star Cosmetics, I'm like, is it really? The skincare junkie in me sees this, and I see the packaging and I see the whatever. I'm like, there is a part of me within me that would like to review that. I look at it and it's intriguing, you know, sort of in the same way when he released the concealers and the setting powder. I'm like, it's not really something I need, but I'd really like to try it. Jeffree Star skincare is not something I need, but I would really like to try it. You're also going to notice a theme, a color theme within the majority of the makeup here that I want to try. It's going to be a theme, which is good because that means the theme exists within makeup being released. Means it's the theme within the makeup being released, which means I'm going to get more of it, I hope. And one of those is the Ace Beaute Tropical Vibe palette. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the beautiful, the curated, better version of the Anastasia Beverly Hills subculture palette that this is? I mean, we've got the green, we've got the grunge, the khaki, the bright, the yellow, the brownie green. It's just a whole aesthetic, a whole mood. Again, everything I could possibly want in a green grungy palette. I am really feeling that shit right now. I want it so freaking bad. I just see that. What? Are you looking at me? I see you. It gets me all kinds of hot and bothered in the makeup way. I see that, and that shit is inspiring to me. I'm like, yes, I want to take it, I want to slather it all over my face and be the amazing green grungy goddess I've always wanted to be. And I'm also starting to get into makeup without having to have a full beat. Definitely let me know what you think about this down below, because it is hot as hell up in here in this house without no central heat. I'm sitting here sweating like, ugh. But I am starting to get like more inspired because I was really burnt out on makeup for a while, and I was like, well, if I can't wear my wig and all my clothes, and if I can't go full drag beat, I'm just not going to do makeup at all. And so I'm working on finding that happy medium. And I would really like to find my happy medium with that palette in my hot little hands. I've never tried anything by them. I'm pretty sure in the past they've had some other palettes that have had color stories that have completely fucked me up. I've just been like, my sweet little color-loving heart needs you. But that was quite a few years ago, I think. Let me know quality, what you think about the brand, you know, with these companies that I've never tried about. God only knows what I'm getting into. Makeup is not cheap. It is certainly a luxury item, even if you're not talking about luxury makeup. Buying makeup is a luxury item regardless you're doing drugstore or bougie. It is not an inexpensive investment. Then, from a brand that y'all know that I love, we have the Collidos Smoky Nostalgia. Now, with a lot of these, I ain't got no idea if there's even a chance for me to get my hot little hands on this shit, because I've been a while, and a lot of brands like Collidos and some of these other ones, they release it and then it's gone. You ain't going to get your hands on that no matter what you do. You got to sell your soul, your firstborn child on Mercari in order to get a hold of a $50 palette that someone is selling for $150. That happened with the Club Nebula palette, which amazing. amazing palette. I absolutely adore Collidos. I love their formulations. I love their aesthetic. And you see in the picture, the blushes. I see blushes. I don't need another blush. I don't need a single blush. I don't need a blush palette. I don't need any kinds of blush. I got drawers full of blush, but God knows. Saw that shit and I was like, I don't need any, but I definitely want those. I mean, when I got the Collidos blush duos, I was like, I need them to release 12,000 blush duos or 12,000 blush singles. And I don't know if it's 12,000, but they got these ones. Now y'all know I'm hot and bothered by them single blushes. I mean, if I can have some Collidos single blushes to go with my Collidos single highlighters, I could probably die happy. Like I said, I have no idea if this shit is even like available, if it's even, you know, like I said, let me know if it's like a limited edition job, if it's like we're never gonna see it again, if it's a capsule collection, because like I said, with a lot of indie makeup, it's not kind of like a consistent, oh, we're going to have it all the time. Or at least that tends to happen more than you would say, like if it were released from Urban Decay or Too Faced or any old whatever mainstream brand sold at Sephora and Ulta. Then another indie brand, at least I think this is an indie brand, but a brand that I have not tried anything from before is the Clarity Cosmetics Bloom palette. I am loving, although it is not a overarching theme in a lot of brands, I am loving the deep, dark, rich, saturated color trend that I seem to be seeing in some companies, in some brands, in some releases. Not, you know, we're not going to get that from Too Faced. We're not going to get that, you know, put in aforementioned brands here. They ain't going to be doing that shit. Indie brands and smaller companies are going to be doing it like Clarity Cosmetics. It's just so, the purple, the green, the bluey, it is just absolutely stunning. It is gorgeous. It is everything. Again, all of these colorful ones are just really inspiring to me. And that's, for me, I'm like, oh, I'm getting inspired by makeup again, which is a really good feeling because for a while I've just been kind of dead and tired, not really feeling it. I'm just, we're not buying makeup. We're not putting makeup on the face. And I hadn't seen a lot or really anything that I was like, yes, this makes my makeup heart happy. This makes my makeup heart happy. And I want to check it out and I want to try it and I want to put it on my face. But again, makeup is not cheap. I think this palette was like $54 or something along that lines. I think it was above 50. I could be wrong because like I said, been distant out of the makeup verse, but it's just so, the mattes look gorgeous. The shimmers look gorgeous. There is no sad, pitiful, pasty shade. It just takes it right to the heart and gives you color. Deep, dark, saturated color, no throwaway shades, no pastiness, just took out the middleman and gave us exactly what we wanted. Then another palette that I don't think I'm going to be able to get my hands on because I'm pretty sure this is definitely a limited edition number job, and that is the Odin's Eye X Angelica Nyquist. I love me a palette with the green. I love me just that whole it is beautiful. It is curated. It is exciting. It is thrilling. It is a color story that does something for me. It's a color story that's not just a neutral story with the pop of green or with the pop of pink. I think Angelica is one of the more creative makeup channels on the platform. I think she is just so insightful, so passionate about what she does. You can really tell she loves makeup. She thinks about what she puts on her face, what she puts her money into, what she puts her stamp of approval on. It is an absolutely beautiful palette. It is a indie company. Y'all know that also moving forward with this low buy, I am going to try investing more money into indie companies rather than mainstream companies, because I have found in the past that the majority of quality tends to be better and more consistent with those smaller companies. Than there's a reason that I've continuously bought from, you know, say Collidos, Give Me Glow, all of that sort of thing. And I haven't bought an Urban Decay or a Too Faced palette in years. It's not a coincidence. It's a quality correlation and a color story correlation. The shit they're releasing is boring, but this is exciting. This is thrilling. This is what I want. She is a color lover. I am a color lover. But again, limited edition. I know it's sold out multiple times, so that one may have to end up being in a future list of products I regret not buying because I didn't jump on it when it happened. And if there's anything I remember about being in the makeup verse is a lot of times you snooze, you lose. Okay, so a mainstream palette now that I'm slightly conflicted. I'm putting it out there, getting some of y'all's opinions to, see if I really should or, even try. The Natasha Denona pastel palette. Now, I know y'all are going to be like, girl, you know that you always tell us that you like gradation. You like a light to dark. You like a, nice, super saturated. And this is not. This is light. This is pastel-y. This is pretty. This is ethereal. This is fairy-esque. Which, in my kind of trying to hit that middle ground, I have been more drawn towards sort of like 1-2 color looks, kind of do one color all over matte and then just do a shimmer on the lid. I haven't been really trying to do a lot more intricate looks now that I've been filming less and now that I'm just not dressing up as much as I used to because I've got a regular job and I'm old and I got nowhere to wear my fancy clothes to. And the fact that it is like averaging around like 85 degrees in Virginia, that is not conducive to a full face and a wig and a velvet dress. But I look at it and I see it and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty. I don't know if it's one of her $129 palettes or one of her $65 palettes. If it's $129, I'm not going to buy it. It's not going to happen. But if it's one of her 65 palettes, I have so many of her $65 palettes and I love all of them regardless of matte to shimmer ratio. Some of the best mattes I've ever used, some of the best shimmers I ever used. For those $65 palettes, for whatever reason, that is a formula that she does right. She bangs that shit out of the park every single time for me. Neutrals, colors, I haven't cared what it is. If it's been in that format, I've loved it. So obviously that's an easy find out. I should probably just go on and be like, all right, how much is this one? Because if it's 120, it's not happening. I don't like pastels enough to, and I don't trust that $129 formula to be like, I'll pay $130 for pastels. We're good. But if it's 65, I could probably be tempted to try that shit out and try it out for you all and review it and everything like that. So if you have it, if you like it, if you know someone who likes it, link me a review, tell me a review so I can do some research and, find out if it's viable. Okay, this is another things, companies, brands, formulas I've never tried, but the color story of these palettes fuck me up so much. Like, the amount of inspiration and makeup color loving joy that I get from seeing these color stories is unparalleled. And that is Beaute Bay. Again, palettes, formula, never ever tried. I don't even know what these are called, but they have the purple and the blue and the green and the grungy and I want all of them. I want the big giant ones. I don't even care that they're giant and ridiculous and huge and that they're going to be redundant shades. I want the smaller ones. All of them look absolutely stunning. I just see this giant festival of color exploded into these beautiful palettes. Cannot say anything for the formula. I remember when Nikki Tutorials did her collaboration with Beaute Bay and people were, some people thought it was good, one side was good, the other side wasn't good. A little bit of controversy, a little bit of back and forth, but I don't know if that has anything to do with the overall consistency of Beaute Bay eyeshadows. Like everything, let me know what you think about the quality if you'd experienced it, because the quality is good. These colors, these colors, the greens, this is what I want. This is my aesthetic. This is where I am at in my life when it comes to what I want in makeup. This is it. This is it. This is my absolute shiz, hands down. Another indie brand and another color story that is my shit hands down is the Give Me Glow Two Moods palettes. I mean, I am loving the like color spectrum that I'm seeing. I'm also loving that it looks like things are getting released at a much slower pace. I mean, we kind of had COVID and that kind of stopped things for a while, and then we kind of felt like we had to make up for it. And now, at least from my partial observations, like I said, I've been detached. From my observations I've seen, it feels like we're releasing a little bit less. We're trying to be a little bit conscious of what we release. And in releasing less, that means less saturation and room for more beautiful color stories. I like that there's less release. There's less that I want, but the stuff that I do want, stuff that I'm being drawn towards, is beautiful. In my mind, there are quite a few just color theory perfections up in here. I love the fact that a lot of the palettes that I'm interested in, we don't have a lot of throwaway shades. We don't have a lot of pasty. It's like we've cut out all the excess. We've trimmed the color theory fat, and they're giving us these beautiful, full-fledged, just gorgeous, I mean, again, grunge, rosy, beautiful grunge. And if I don't use that, I mean, do you see if I don't use this on my eyes, can you imagine some of these shades as like face product? I am feeling it so much. I love the aesthetic. I love the color story. I love when Give Me Glow Cosmetics does their eyeshadows right. One of the most unparalleled, unbeatable formulas ever. I have so many palettes, so many singles from them. But sometimes when they don't do it right, their matte shades are disgustingly dry and disgustingly like patchy and just, it's kind of like that's really good or it's really bad. And I have had experiences on both ends of the spectrum. I would love to try this out. I would hope and pray and plead that it is that consistent formula that I know and love, but just color story wise and what I would want in my collection, I'm just like, absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous, really want it. Next is not necessarily I'm super drawn, this is multiple products in one release, the eyeshadow palette. This is the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism collection, which the eyeshadow palette I think is a really nice neutral palette for him to release. I like the matte to shimmer ratio. Y'all know I am a huge fan. Lunar Beauty is one of my favorite brands, one of my favorite companies to support. Have some of my favorite formulas: liquid lipstick, lip gloss, eyeshadows, blush. There's a blush palette released with this. There's some glosses. I want this because from what I've had, I know it's going to be a nice, high quality experience. And y'all know I love me a blush palette, and his last blush palette, absolutely phenomenal. I love it to this day. I use it. One of my favorite blush palettes, one of my favorite blush formulas. I haven't used my highlighters from Lunar Beauty in a while. I should do a makeup rotation and pull that shit out. I got so much makeup that I need to pull into a makeup rotation. The eyeshadow palette, nothing too crazy and like, oh, fuck me up with the color story. But it's like, you know, quality, and I would love to try it and again review it for you guys and then maybe swap it out for, you know, maybe a more mainstream brand neutral palette, because like I said, from what I've seen and what I know, it's going to be a quality experience. I just want the gloss and I want the blush palette just to have it because they're all absolutely beautiful formulas I love. Oh, and then we have, this is one I'm pretty ding dang sure I am not, this is probably just going to end up being a sorry I didn't buy it, sucks to be me, because it's gone. I never know how to say this. Oh my goodness, it's one of those it's like the name Siobhan, where it's spelled one way but it's completely pronounced something different, but I'm gonna butcher this. This is the Cleona Dragon Fruit collection. This is that company that does those super expensive, super hella amazing, crazy stained glass foil pigment fused, filled with stardust, you know, those. If I had money to blow, I would be blowing my wad all up on those eyeshadows. For probably the majority of my makeup journey, I've always kind of looked and yearned and longed for a far, because they are expansive. single eyeshadows. I mean, they have cornered the market. They are like the people who have done that. Other mainstream companies have like, look what we're doing. And the Cleona is just like, oh, that's cute. You tried. They really are the movers and shakers of that kind of eyeshadows. They are absolutely gorgeous, stunning, super unique formulation. And looking at, it's just so bright and beautiful and effervescent. And the theme, the whole dragon fruit thing with these bright, punchy, beautiful, juicy colors. I feel like this is the shimmer version of what the Colored Rain Juicy Boost palette wishes it could have been. It just takes that bright, juicy, punchy theme and really takes it up to the next level. There have been wonderful things said about their quality, about the eye. It's a whole shimmer palette with, I think, like a face shade or a shade that could be used for the face. I don't care that it's all shimmer. I would pay money to be able to finally have their shimmer formula grace my eyelids. I'm not sure how much the price point is. I don't think it really matters because, like I said, I'm 99.99999% sure I'm not going to be able to get my hot little hands on that shiz because, like I said, indie brand sold out. But boy, looking at when it released, I was like, that's really, really pretty. Again, I'm seeing all these ones with all these colors and these beautiful saturations and amazingness. I'm just like, I see so many beautiful colors that I want to play with. And then if we're talking about colors, I'm so torn about this one right here because I see the picture. You'll see the picture and you will understand why I am torn, because these two palettes, these colors, this theory is me, is mine. I want this. I need this. It is me. And that is the P.Louise. I don't even know what they call, but it's these palettes. Right? Are these not absolutely gorgeous? This is yellow, green, grungy amazingness. This is just about everything I could possibly want. Although I was looking at some of the names and the theme behind these palettes, and I was like, we're kind of taking a little bit of a blood money theme with this, which I do have the Jeffree Star Blood Money palette. I really enjoyed. It's a very good green palette. And these ones are just, they're so big and they're so beautiful and they have so many wonderful, gorgeous shades. I just want to take these and just bathe in it. This is a color story I want to live in. I know nothing about their quality. I had a little issue with them when a little bit of controversy happened with the owner, and then they proceeded to be like, this is our canceled collection. Isn't it so funny that people get canceled for just little things, kind of trying to minimize and take sort of a quirky turn about, being called out for their bad behavior, which, why just say I'm sorry? Just say, yeah, it was stupid. I did that, and then move on. No, we're going to make a whole collection about it and call it canceled. So I'm not sure how I feel about them as a company, but boy, they have had quite a few palettes that have come up that have just, what's up? You know me, you got my number. So I see that green and that grungy yellow and that kind of mustardy and that, I love it. Absolutely love it. Like I said, the Beauty Bay ones, these ones, there are just so many that I'm so passionate about. It's not even like, I'll get it to, review. This is stuff that if I buy it and it ends up not working, I'm going to be so disappointed and so sad because the color theories on so many of these are just so good and speak to me on such a primal, color-loving level. I mean, I want it. Then something that I want that I'll never be able to get just because the company is not cruelty-free. And if any of these brands that I've mentioned are not cruelty-free and I don't know, definitely let me know down below. I'm not the best at keeping in the up and up about that. I know companies change, companies shift, things like that. But the Pat McGrath, those disgustingly aesthetic Bridgerton collections, aesthetically, it murders me. It takes me by the shirt and yanks me forward and demands that I appreciate it. Like I said, Pat McGrath is not a cruelty-free. There have been multiple things that they've released that I'm like, I like it. It's cute. Oh boy, if you were cruelty free, I'd have that shit in my hot little hand, slathering it all over my face. And this just looks so stinking pretty. I know I try very hard to be like, oh, well, don't, the makeup inside is what it's important, not the collection or not and this is intellectual collaboration and everything that I don't like in a makeup release, but it's so pretty and it's aesthetic and it's got cameos and pearls and prettiness, and it speaks to me on an aesthetic level that I just is beautiful. It is beautiful packaging, beautifully executed. I would love, that's another thing that I know I'm not going to get my hands on, aside from it not being cruelty free, but also it just being absolutely devastated, sold out. Everyone lost their shit over that being released. I mean, I did too, but it was kind of an internal losing my shit and be like, oh, it's beautiful. I'll never be able to buy it, but it's beautiful. So that's sort of like an honorable mention tag on, but it's beautiful. Aesthetically, just beautiful. A+, Pat McGrath. A+. Then we just have kind of just throwing off in the whatever, the new Milk Makeup skincare. I know there's like a cleansing something, and then there's reusable cleansing towelette things, I think a la makeup eraser, which I have and I use, I love. My skin feels all kinds of nice after I use that. Doesn't feel stripped, doesn't feel gnarly. And like I said, with the Jeffree Star skincare, y'all know I love skincare. Skincare's my shit. That's what I love. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It brings me joy to find something new that works to make my skin even better. Though not gonna lie, my skincare game since getting my night shift job has not been very good. I've been a very bad skincare advocate. But I'm trying to jump on that bandwagon again and again. I don't need to try any new skincare. I got 2 drawers filled with skincare backups and skincare that I haven't tried already. So it's not something that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go out and buy it and get it because I need new skincare. I don't need new skincare. I just bought a few things at Marshall's that I haven't tried yet. So, but just looking at it, and I have tried, I've got multiple products by Milk Makeup, skincare products included. You know, they got my holy grail end all be all face primer. And so just seeing them release more stuff in that, because I have things by them that I've tried and I've liked, that curiosity is piqued, and I look at it and I'm like, I'd like to try a little bit of that skincare. But that was just me talking about the makeup that's exciting me right now, the makeup that's, I'd really like to buy, and I'm probably going to start figuring out about getting a few things and doing a couple reviews for my channel. Let me know down below what of these you think you're like, yeah, I'd totally like to see reviews. Would love to see your opinions, things that you're like, yeah, maybe not so much. Obviously, the Pat McGrath stuff and the Anastasia stuff, there are some things that are more realistic for me to review, like the Milk Cosmetics, the Lunar Beauty, some of those other ones that give me glow if that's still there. I don't know about the availability of the Collidos or the Odin's Eye or the Cleona. So obviously, we're going to stay tuned. If you guys are still here, there will be reviews at some point, and just let me have your input and what you think you would like to see me review, because the majority of this, if you mention any of them, I'm like, that's great. I need 1 like for me to be like, all right, I'm gonna review it now, because there are just so many things listed here that are just so beautiful, so exciting. I'm really, really feeling good about getting excited and inspired by makeup again, because like I said, for a while I think I was just burned the fuck out. I was just YouTube. I'm going to be doing a video talking about why YouTube became my worst nightmare. That's going to be just sort of like a stream of conscious thought video, just talking about kind of my rise and then my descent in YouTube. So if y'all are interested in seeing that, stick around. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to touch on in that video, and also leave down below a product that you're really excited about. I really enjoy makeup and beauty, and I love all y'all and the little group of people that I have here. My girlfriend, I posted a video, and she's subscribed to me now, and she was reading the comments. She was like, they really love you, and I'm like, I love my little my little group of y'all that come here and support me. I really do. It means a lot to me when you guys come back and are like, oh, I missed you. It's so great to see you. It just warms my little queer heart. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. And as always, keep it real. Mwah!